Recording in progress.
Hello, welcome to another one of my music explanation videos. Today we're looking at Placebo, which was requested by a viewer of my previous video, which is on Thoughts That Fly. I'm wearing pretty much the same red flanny that I wore in the 2015, very old now, video that I made of this song, which you can find on my YouTube channel. You can laugh at my attempt at Justin Bieber hair. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. I'm just following my own rules of wearing something that relates to the song. Placebo is nothing to do with the band, which is also called Placebo. Anyway, moving on. It's a song that's really about someone completely losing their mind to the point of no return and basically dying of a broken brain, which is not very fun. I guess there's more specific things behind that, but we don't need to go into that. 2014, Zach was a bit angsty, I guess. But it's a really good example of this theory that I have about songwriting, that songs are pearls, right? Because how does a pearl work? There's still some contention in the scientific community about exactly how a pearl is formed, but the most commonly accepted theory is that you have a shellfish like an oyster, you have an irritation, something that's uncomfortable for the shellfish, and it comes along, embeds itself in there, and to get rid of it or to deal with it, the shellfish wraps it up in a calcium carbonate substance called nacre, Nacre, and in the process of dealing with the irritation, they make something beautiful. I think songs should be the same. I think that in the process of dealing with something unpleasant, you can make something beautiful. That's the pearl analogy. Why didn't I just say that? So yeah, we've got this person crumbling in their brain, and what do they make of it? Well, nothing. They don't do anything about it. They just imagine themselves into all these great scenarios, like being as impermanent. No, sorry, they feel impermanent. They want to be as permanent as a tree, so they just imagine it, and when it doesn't happen, they want to be like, I guess, kind of like an eagle, right? Majestic in the sky. The sky's a giant hall. But in the end, they're just a tumbling angel and not even being touched on the lips like Isaiah was in Isaiah 6, I think it is. Not even that can fix a problem. And so they lose their mind, and they end up drowning at the end. Whether that's a physical drowning or a metaphorical drowning, I don't know. But the point is, this song is a thought experiment into basically falling apart to nothing. Cool. Really nice. Great material for your viewing. Let's talk about the song because there's a lot of cool stuff that went into making it. Let me get some zoom action going once again. Hello Reaper. Once again, here we go. Here is Placebo. I'm fairly sure I have the right project this time. Thoughts That Fly was not actually the right project. It was just a shadow of the right project. But anyway, here we go. Here we go. We got our little count in at the start. It's all fun. It's all nice. And this one comes after Dreadlock Man. Dreadlock Man is a hoo hoo hoo, barn dance yee-ha sort of thing, pretty up and about. This one drops you down into a nice, steady, sleepy time summer vibe, and that is what I wanted. I wanted it to sound like you're dozing off on the beach, which is nice. A lot of people who listen to my music also listen to John Foreman. If you can guess which song inspired the vibe in this song, put it in the comment and make me look like a copycat. Or maybe don't. Maybe just hold off on that and ask me later. I don't know. We'll do what you want to do. I don't care. Part of the sleepy vibes were a few things. The slightly muted bass you heard there. Let's hear that bass again. I said in the previous video how I'm a bit of a James Jamerson fan. He stuck a sponge in his bridge to make it really like attacky. I think I did something along those lines when I recorded that bass on The 2nd of July 2016, I think, by looking at that. So that's a while ago now. But yeah, that's how I would have got that sort of tone. For a while there, I actually had a fretless short scale SG bass, and I have a suspicion that this might actually be that bass, which would be cool. Fretless is really fun, and sticking a sponge in the bridge makes it even more fun. The guitar's just standard. We don't need to talk about that. It's my Cole Clark, just like a lot of the EP is. But what is really cool is this lap steel. Man, I love lap steel. I actually bought a lap steel to play this song with. Then I ended up using it on a bunch of other stuff as well. So yeah, I have a Placebo lap steel. It's just a Martinez. Is it? I should have got it out. It's a bright red, ugly $155 lap steel, and it sounds like this. Yeah, it does what it says on the label. It's a lap steel. I'm pretty sure at this stage I didn't have a proper tone bar yet, so what you're hearing is a D-size battery. They make awesome tone bars because they're slippery and dense, just like some people. Yeah, so that gives you that snoozing away on the beach kind of feeling. There's not much going on for the majority of the first part of the song. We got some guitar. Oh, actually, one cool thing about the guitar, I just remember looking here. We got some tremolo. Hope you guys can hear that. I forgot about that, but the whole song has a lot of tremolo in it because it kind of gives you this like unsettling, shaking feeling, which is what losing your mind, I suppose, can feel like at times. Can feel like you're standing on an earthquake and the ground isn't quite stable. And that's mixed quite low compared to the rest of the guitar, but when you hear it on the EP, it is there, and I really like that. Fast forward to the bridge, because let's be honest, the bridge is a really cool part of the song, and it's got a lot of that layering. So the song builds and builds and get crazier and crazier, especially from the second verse, until boom, you hit this bridge, and it's like, yeah, my brain is dying. I'm losing my mind right now, and so that's where we'll scoot on along to here. That's second verse. Here we go. This is C. It's kind of like your snooze on the beach has gone a bit wrong at this point. Everything's going full bore. There's no drums. I thought drums would have lacked a bit of subtlety, so just went with the big strums on the guitar carrying the rhythm. So let's hear those in isolation for a moment with that nice tremoloing. So yeah, just strumming. You want to make a hole in your guitar like Glenn Hansen. That's what we're doing there. That's cool. The bass is going full bore. Now what I love here is this big stereo organ. So I recorded most of this song in, and my parents were kind enough to give up their garage for a time when I was living at home as a young adult, and turn it into a bit of a music room, jam space, man cave, stinky boy den kind of thing. And something I had in there, from Hard Rubbish no less, was a Yamaha organ. I thought in my silly mind that it was basically a Hammond. It really wasn't. But what it did have was a mechanical Leslie speaker. So inside literally had a speaker spinning. I found out later it's the same Leslie mechanism that's on a Yamaha RA200, which is a classic Pink Floyd Eric Clapton amp. And that's what organ is going on here. I sold that organ for $50 when I moved out. Huge regret. It had a spring reverb tank in it. It was full of all the cheesy good sounds, and here it is. So what we had there is 2 tracks of the same part. The Leslies are a bit off with each other, so you get that unsettled vibrato feeling to the max because it's slightly different in each ear. Really cool with headphones on, recommend. And they play the melody. They play it pretty hard, full stops out on the organ. That little blue note snuck in there kind of gives you this fairground from hell kind of feeling, which I love it. It's so silly and unsettling. Now, what gets cool is when I jumped on the lap steel, I was having a jam trying to decide what to play, and I realized that the melody has these really handy gaps in it. And if I did the big lap steel slides between those gaps in the melody, I could make this really neat interlocking part. And honestly, it's one of my favorite things on the whole EP, the way that this organ and this lap steel interlock. So let's listen to Sorry to make you listen to that whole thing, but I just love it so much. You got this fairground organ that's busting your ears from the inside of your ear canals with this like sleepy guitar that's actually not sleepy at all, interlocking to make this like, oh no, yes, I really am losing my mind kind of feeling. And then that drops down into the bridge. No, not the bridge, the final verse. And this is where
I'll drown myself in placebo while twinkling sunbeams flash.
Yeah, so suddenly it all comes to a head, and now we're drowning. We're like facing upwards as sinking in the water, watching the twinkling sunbeams. That image, it's actually, I remember when that metaphor came to me because I was snorkeling with my family. I think it was either Shoreham or Kilcunda, just off the coast of Victoria. And I remember doing just that. Obviously not drowning myself, but lying belly up in the water with a big lung full of air ready to surface and blow the water out, because that's how you snorkel. You know, this video is not a snorkeling lesson, but it was a sunny day, warm sunny day. It was actually hot sunny day, come to think of it. And looking upwards and seeing the beams of sunlight coming down through the water and past the seaweed, and the water was flowing backwards and forwards, and I was so taken by that moment, just me alone in the water, that I thought maybe it would be picturesque to drown in a way, but no, it wouldn't be, because you'd be panicking. So don't do it, anybody. I was going to say don't do it, kids, but don't do it, anybody. Do it with a snorkel if you plan to come up to the surface and begin breathing shortly. But you may not know this, but the outro for the song, once the song finishes and the drones come in, it's actually called Twinkling Sunbeams Flash, or TSBF for short. I think, yeah. On the CD, it's called Placebo plus TSBF. Now you know what TSBF stands for, Twinkling Sunbeams Flash. And on Spotify, it's just called Placebo, and you think it's one long song, but it's actually 2 parts. And I have a suspicion that everyone's just hankering to get to that drone section. So let's have a listen to that.
To die away.
Oh, wait, I want to talk about these vocals real quick. It was fun. I wanted to make it really quiet and claustrophobic. And so,
Well, the pictures in my brain, they smother the disdain.
so what I did to get that really close, like whispering into your ear sound, is I have an AKG C5, which is a handheld condenser mic, and I went into my walk-in wardrobe in my house, nice dampened soft environment, and I grabbed the grill of the C5 and just like, you know, like how drummers sing into a mic and basically eat the microphone. I did that and sung stupidly quietly, like Sufjan Stevens would be ear splitting compared to how loud I sung this bit. Let's listen to it one more time for fun.
Well, the pictures in my brain, they smother the disdain.
Like so quiet. And I'm really happy with how that turned out. AKG is a beautiful mic. The C5 particularly. This video is not sponsored, but if you want to send me another one, mine broke, so maybe they're not so great. And then what happens is towards the end of that, it starts getting a bit crazier and the voices in the head start taking over, and the vocals get really unsettlingly doubled.
Drown and I die away.
Yeah, this bit.
Oh, I choose to die away.
There's a bit of deliberate dissonance in there, which makes it really like, ooh, what's going on? And then we get to the bit you were waiting for, the drone section. Now, everybody thinks it's a synth, and it does sound like one. Let's give it a go.
To die away.
Okay, yeah, finish on the major seventh. I regret finishing on the major seventh. And then boom, suddenly, what's going on? Yeah, and full disclosure, I just wanted to have my own little Carrie and Lowell moment. If you're not a Sufjan Stevens fan, you should be. You should go listen to Carrie and Lowell. It's one of the most phenomenal albums ever made, without a doubt. Like, I have no qualms saying that exactly that's one of the best albums ever made. A lot of the songs finish with these big drone outros, and mine's nowhere near as good as any of Sufjan's, but what you might be surprised to know is it's not actually synth, well, at least not the main part. It's actually guitar. So I was staying with my friend Matt, the same one whose mum's piano does lots of octaves. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go listen to My Thoughts at Fly video. And he has a really cool pedal board. He's a fan of small form pedals, like this little Mua, and he has one of these. It's a Mua slow engine, it's called, and it's a slow attack pedal. And I was playing around with his Ibanez hollow body guitar and his slow engine, and I came up with that at the end of Placebo, and I thought, man, so he has a loop pedal as well, where you can record loops and then get them off using your computer. So literally, what you're hearing on the EP was recorded to a Boss RC30 loop pedal, and that wave file from the pedal was extracted, chucked straight into Reaper. Almost no editing or effects whatsoever. Very raw, and I'm so happy with it. Like, oh man, once again, it's one of my favorite moments on the album. So I thought, why not actually rip it out? I have my own red hollow body now. It's arguably not as good as Matt's, but it's different. So what it is it's a bunch of major 7 chords with this, that kind of setup, a bit jazzy, but it's really nothing without the slow engine. So let's chuck that on, and we get a bit of this. And there's a bunch of other reverb and delays going on, but this is just the slow engine into my amp, which hopefully you can hear across the room. It goes like this. And then we start getting into the island song chord progression, because obviously that's what's coming up next. finish on the E minor. And through that little transition, we've gone from the key of F sharp major down to the key of E minor in this kind of cool subversive way. So yeah, really cool little pedal. Mua stuff's really good. Recommend. If you want to make cool sounds but you don't have Strymon money, get some Mua stuff. You won't regret it. I did get home and think, oh, it just needs a little bit more kick. So I ended up getting on my microkorg and making this really fuzzy sawtooth patch that was really filtered. So flippin' ominous by itself. So yeah, that sits underneath the guitars and makes it extra fat with pH fat. So there you go. There's Placebo. The lyrics, the concept, the instruments that went into it, including the drone synth layering at the end. It's literally just a guitar recorded in stereo and a microkorg. Yeah, let me know what song you'd like me to do next. There's a fair chance, honestly, that I'll just end up doing all the songs on Wild Eyes, because why not? It's really fun. I'm really enjoying doing these. Yeah, so see how we go. See what I can wear for the rest of them. Could get crazy. There's a warning, but yeah, let me know what you want me to do next. I think I'm going to do Two Wolves and Island Song because they were already requested. But if you have another one in mind that you want me to do urgently, I will get to it and we will have fun and we will hang out. And I might even get some new music coming along soon. Why? Because I'm recording album 2. Anyway, ciao ciao. Like, comment, subscribe. Shut up.